It might not have caught on in the massive way that everyone's been anticipating it will do just yet, but VR is still definitely going to play a huge role in the future of tech and the future of Android. VR has almost limitless potential to change the world, whether that means influencing the way we create, communicate, learn, or game. And as our mobile devices get more powerful and computer vision allows for true inside-out tracking, much of this is likely to take place on our Android phones. But for now, we have Google Cardboard, and Daydream, and the Gear VR. They're a little less exciting than your Oculus Rifts and HTC Vives, sure, but there's still some pretty awesome games and applications here, and there are lots of great reasons for developers to get involved, not only because there's lots of money to be made in the fledgling VR app stores, but also because it pays to get ahead of the curve and learn skills that are likely to be in huge demand in the next few years. And apart from anything else, it's just incredibly awesome to be able to create your own virtual world and then step into it. So without further ado, let's see if we can make those 80s dreams a reality and try to make our own VR experience on Android in just 7 minutes, or less. So the first thing we need to do, of course, is to open up Unity. Here it is. We're going to start a new project, even though I've done this once before as a trial. We'll call it VR App. Make sure that you've got 3D selected, and then click Create Project. Pretty easy. Okay, and here we have Unity. If you're not familiar with using Unity, then there are plenty of articles and tutorials over at AndroidAuthority.com that I've written and others have written, and I'll link to those in the description also. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, I'm going to kind of rush through it here for now. The first thing we want to do is to create a 3D plane. That just means a flat surface, and the reason we want that is so that we can walk on it. And I'm going to make this a little bit larger, so we've got plenty of room to move around. Okay, and we can also insert a 3D object, which is a cube here, just to add a little bit of variety to our world. If we wanted to give that physics, we'd add a rigid body. Now we want to make this a 3D first-person shooter type experience, so we're going to go down to Assets here, and we're going to say Import Package, Characters. So this is going to allow us to import various ready-made assets. You can of course select just the things you want from the standard assets here, but for now, for simplicity, let's just import everything. Give it a moment. Hold on. Okay, so now that's created, what we're going to do is look in the standard assets here. We're going to go to Characters, we're going to go to First Person, and we're going to Prefabs. A prefab is a ready-made game object. It could have scripts, it could have 3D models, all prefabricated, hence the name ready for us to use. This is a completely ready first-person character controller, and as you'll see, it makes our lives incredibly simple. So just drop it into your scene from there. We want to delete the main camera here because the first-person controller is now going to act as the camera. And now if you click play, you'll see just how quick and simple everything was. There we go, we can look around. There's that box. We can walk around with the WASD keys. We can jump, there's sound effects. All that's been added by that first-person controller. Pretty nice and easy. Believe it or not, that's ready for us to jump into. So the next thing we need to do, first we're going to save our scene. We could make a folder for that if we wanted to keep things nice and neat. But for now, let's just call it Sceney. A scene in Unity is not just the level, it also includes all the elements that you've included. So that means things like this first-person character controller. Okay, so now with that saved, we're ready to set this up to run. So we're going to go to Build Settings. We want to change our platform to Android, so select that and click Switch Platform to make it official. Once again, need to give it a couple of seconds. We need to hold on. Okay, and the next thing we need to do, once that's done, is to move our scene into the scenes in build. That's important because without that there, it's not going to know what to include when it creates our app. Now finally click Player Settings, and this is where you set up the settings for your app itself. The first thing we need to do is in Other Settings, let's call company name Android Authority, and let's call the product name VR App with no space. Then I'm going to change my package name, and you need in Unity to be very strict and make sure that that is the company name and then the app name. We also need to make sure we're targeting API level 19 because it's only from there upwards that we can support Google Cardboard. So that's done. Then we're going to go into XR settings and just click Virtual Reality Supported. That's the magic source right there. You can see here you've got the opportunity to import Virtual Reality SDKs. We're going to click the plus there and we're going to choose Cardboard. But of course, if you wanted Daydream, you'd just click Daydream. And if you wanted Oculus, you'd just click Oculus. Note, however, that Oculus is a little bit more complicated because you're also going to need a signature file from your device. But for these two, it's incredibly simple. So just click Cardboard. And then you can click Build and Run. And your project is complete and ready to test on your device, which is pretty amazing, really. And then you can load it up, look around, and explore your 3D world. Of course, for this to work, you need to have your Android device plugged in and you need to turn on USB debugging. If you can't find that setting, then it'll be in the developer options in your settings menu. If you don't have access to developer options, you'll need to turn that on. You do this by going to About Phone, finding the build number and then tapping on that 7 times. It'll then say you're now a developer. You can change those hidden settings. Now, of course, whilst this is all good and well and pretty amazing, really, we don't yet have any way to interact with the world. We can change this, however, by clicking FPS Controller, finding the first-person controller script, that's the code that handles this behavior, going to that settings menu, the little cog on the right, clicking on it, and then saying Edit Script. That'll let us edit the code. Now, the good news is that Google Cardboard only has a one input method, that being the magnetic button at the top, and that's pretty easy for us to override. So in here, do a search and look for jump. And there you go, we've got this line is the one we want. m_jump equals cross-platform input manager dot get button down jump. We're going to change that to input get mouse button down 0. And all that's doing is it's swapping the kind of adaptable jump button for a mouse click. And the good news is that Android in Unity interprets a mouse click as being the same thing as tapping the screen anywhere. And that also happens to be the same way that Google Cardboard interprets a click of that button. So this means that now clicking the button will make our character jump. But you could just as easily make that a button to make the character move forwards, to make it fire so you can shoot at targets. And that's where you can start to use your imagination and come up with really cool ideas for new VR apps. Like I say, we're really only at the start of this technology right now. There's so much potential that hasn't been explored, giving you the opportunity to come up with that really killer app, that awesome idea that no one's had before. The only thing holding you back really is the limits of your imagination. And if you want some ideas and some more tips on how to create more immersive VR experiences, then once again, there's an article I've written over at AndroidAuthority.com, and I'll link to that once again in the description down below. So I hope you found this video useful and interesting, guys. If you did, then please leave a like, please share it around. That helps us out immensely. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any problems. I'll try and help you out, and what you'd like to see in the tutorial next time. Of course, check out AndroidAuthority.com, for we are your source for all things Android.